recorded, and you can go ahead and introduce them.
Awesome. Sweet. Well, I'm really excited for you guys. Jodi and Renee are two of my coaches who, honestly, I personally feel extremely lucky to even get to be their coach because they make coaching so much more fun, and working alongside them has just made me a better coach. Like the things that stand out to me the most of them, they're so teachable. They are both in their 50s, and I think a lot of times we have this narrative that successful coaches are like the young Instagram influencers with a lot of followers, and so they are just proof that, I mean, of like the beach body like comes, you know, the where they're like it's based on your hard work, diligence, effort. They prove that it's really based on your hard work, diligence, and effort. If you want to see success in this business, it's not based on how many Instagram followers you have and things like that. Like both of them have dabbled in reels, which was huge, out of their comfort zone. They're doing talking on their Instagram stories now, and so that is just like so fun to see them be willing to step out and learn. And they just have so much knowledge and wealth and, you know, like wisdom to give to our team. So I'm excited for you guys to get to listen to them. Jodi hit diamond last summer with me. I basically challenged her like, hey, do you want to go diamond? Like a week in advance. I was like, hey, do you think you could go diamond in 5 days? And she was like, yeah, I mean, let's just go for it. And she still needed like 6 coaches, I think, or something like that. She can tell you better, but she made it happen. And then Renee became a coach the end of August. So she hasn't been a coach very long. She hit Success Starter, just came out of the gate running, and now is in her 5th week of qualifications for Diamond. So they both are just rocking it and amazing. So they're going to share their coaching story tonight, and then some of their top tips for how to hit diamond, and just be an amazing coach. So there's no like real set structure to this night. So they might like feed off each other, wing it. You guys have the freedom to do whatever. So I'll just mute myself and you guys do what you want. And then Brooke might have some things after or whatever. All righty.
Would you like me to start, Renee?
Go ahead, B. Yep,
Okay.
Yep, go for it.
So I actually became a coach at the time that existed before the preferred customer option existed. So it was in April of 2019. And I didn't even ever consider doing this as a business. My evolution into coaching was super organic. I signed up to be, I guess, a discount coach with my daughter because I wanted to support her business. And I probably needed to do the workouts. My first workout was 21 Day Fix. It was around the time when the real-time one was about to come out. And I told her I'm never going to renew because Shakeology is too expensive. And, you know, I'm not going to get that protein shake for that amount of money. And I really liked it. And I was subscribed to ID Life, which is a real customized, high quality vitamin program. And it was even more expensive than ID Life because I had Lyme's, I have Hashimoto's, and all the inflammation that comes with all that. But Shakeology is actually dehydrated food. It's real stuff. It's not even, you know, a vitamin or whatever. It's real. The body recognizes it as food. So I was even feeling better on that. So I got out of ID Life and just went all in with the Shakeology and the workouts. And it was like December 31st that I sold my first challenge pack because I was so excited about all of it and I wanted to just share with my friends. So that's how I kind of got into coaching, and it just sort of ramped up from there. But it wasn't, you know, until a couple of years later when Rebecca literally texted me, hey, let's go diamond by Wednesday. And it was probably, I don't know, Saturday or something ridiculous. And I somehow just said, sure, I like the challenge. And we went for it. And it was really exciting, I think, for both of us because we were, you know, it was a roller coaster ride. And I learned a lot during that process, but it was exciting. And I want to tell you about my tips, and then I can tell you more about, you know, my journey kind of interweaving in there. But first of all, my first tip is not to overthink the whole becoming diamond, because it seems like such a big obstacle or big goal, because it's really just doing the everyday tasks on the business activity tracker. It's not like you have to build the entire city in one day. You just do chip away at it a little bit at a time, just like we chip away at our own fitness and our own nutrition and all the things. It's just those little activities that you do consistently that end up with great results over time. My second tip is to buddy up with your coach, because they would love for you to become diamond, because then they get a little star next to their diamond. And doing it together was just, you know, I think the Navy or there's somewhere this saying came about, where if you want to go fast, go alone, but if you want to go far, go together. Am I getting that right? And I think that was really true for Rebecca and I back then. And it was so much more precious of an experience going in together and checking in on each other throughout that week. So definitely buddy up with your coach, because they are rooting for you too. And it's going to be like a symbiotic benefit to both of you. And I think you'll be strong. It's like a cord of three strands, where if you go together, you're going to be stronger. My third tip is to share your goal with your team, especially your preferred customers and your coaches, because while I was, you know, telling them what I was doing, kind of like, oh, remorsefully, like, please just keep your coach or your preferred customer status while I'm doing this for 6 weeks. I felt sort of like, oh, that's really cringy. I don't want to ask them for something like that. But they were so excited to help and eager to do whatever they could, because they knew I was already pouring into them, and they just wanted to reciprocate that a little bit. So don't be shy about doing that. It was a team bonding activity for us. I had a few people who were remaining coaches just so they could see me through to that goal, and some even stayed longer. So that would be my third tip. I actually thought of a fourth one while I was kind of waiting for everybody to come on here. And of course, you know, regardless of what rank we are, we should always be taking advantage of every possible networking opportunity, especially with Beachbody coaches. If you're able to go to a super weekend, do that. If you're able to go to some kind of training thing, even if it's a remote one on Zoom, just every possible opportunity you could have. I went to a diamond dinner at the last super weekend and met some other coaches, and I got a bunch of great tips and, you know, made some new contacts that aren't in our upline. So that was super helpful. The other thing I do to keep my team, you know, to sustain the people on my team, to keep them renewing their challenge packs every year, or their total solution packs every year, is to, we have monthly team huddles. We have, you know, little challenges every month. We do a lot of communicating throughout the week in different ways. They're all in the bod group and that kind of thing as well. But I'm always checking in on them and seeing how they're doing. And so I've been able to keep a lot of my coaches throughout for a long time. Like, they really stick around. Also, lead your team by example, by doing all the vital behaviors. Especially, I've really kind of seen this up level in the last 43 days. I can say it's 43 days because I'm doing 75 hard. So I'm really following the nutrition. I'm really doing the workouts and drinking the water and getting the sleep and all those things. And just today, one of my team members said, yeah, I'm going to start 75 hard. And I didn't even really, all I did was show up and share my story. So the more you can share your transformation and the things you're struggling with and the things you're doing, I think the better for everybody on your team, because we're all going through the same thing. So I'm going to just stop talking. Oh, I also wanted to let you know, I follow 2B Mindset, and I'm doing the gut protocol right now. I feel like I'm in the middle of a lot of challenges right now with 75 hard, the gut protocol, and 2B Mindset. So I'm going to stop talking so Renee can share her story, but I'd be happy to answer questions later on.
Thanks, Jodi. I'm taking notes like crazy from you. I learned so much from Jodi. You are amazing. So thank you for your willingness just to be such a part of our lives and to share what you know, what you're learning. So
well, it's all mutual. We're all in it together.
we are very thankful. So a little bit about my journey and then just a couple more things. It was for me, kind of to back up, March of, what are you in now, 2020, when the pandemic hit, and I went to the sofa, and part of my story is that I found myself from that weekend in March 13th is my birthday. And so that was the last time that we went out as a family to celebrate. And so from March until May, I was stuck on the couch. I was eating my emotions. I was just kind of a hot mess. And here is, for those that don't know, my husband is a pastor and he works with Rebecca's dad at our church. And so, I knew Rebecca through Pastor Guy, through her dad. And so I'm following along on Instagram, watching this girl who has lots of energy and she's really happy and she's super excited to get her at-home workout done every day. And here I am just stuffing my face on the sofa, glued to either social media or the news. And I just wasn't in a good place. And so I reached out to Rebecca and I said, okay, tell me what you're doing. What is this all about? And so as I began to share my journey, I said, look, I'm at that time, 53 years old. I said, I've done Weight Watchers and I've done, paleo and all these other things. And I throw in the towel. I don't stick with it. And I want to commit to something, but I'm going to need you to make me not quit, or just to make sure that I don't quit. And she's like, I'll encourage you and I'll keep you going. And, we've got the tools that you need. And so she did. And when I think about a coach coming alongside of someone like I was, where I was just stuck in that really place where I could have gone one of two ways. I could have really just sunk even further into that weight gain and just that dark kind of mindset of just being really depressed, or I could do something about it and regain my health and just get into a better place. And so, Rebecca definitely did that for me. She just believed in me. She believed that I could make those really healthy changes. And she kept believing me. And even after 1 year where I didn't lose a single pound, I am doing the workouts. I'm following the nutrition plan. Now, I wasn't drinking Shakeology. Let's just be real honest. I bought my total solution package for the first month. I did it, but I'm a pastor's wife and I don't work, and we couldn't afford it. Just real honest. So fast forward then to last July, Rebecca put out a challenge called 28 Day Hard, and I can't wait to do this challenge, Rebecca, with my team in July of this year. The light bulbs all clicked. Something just happened within my body, this challenge. And within 2 months, 3 months, I'm dropping weight. It's like all of a sudden my body caught up with my brain and I lost this weight. And I started drinking Shakeology. I followed the nutrition program. I'm doing what it's telling me to do, and it's working. So come August, I just knew that the gift that I had been given from a year's worth of working out, getting healthy, most definitely, still eating way too much cake, to then taking on this big challenge and seeing this weight drop off, 40 pounds dropped. And that was huge for me. I mean, I'm a size today that I haven't been since I was in my 20s. Okay, sorry, that was a sidetrack. But I knew that I had to share this gift with other women my age. I would see on social media a lot of women that are in their 20s and 30s that are sharing what they're doing, but I didn't see women like Jodi and myself. I really, and even today, I still don't see a lot of us out there that are in our 50s and older. And so as a post-menopausal woman, that I had a gift to share, that we didn't have to settle for that weight gain that comes with age, as they say, that we didn't have to settle for not feeling our best. And so I wanted to share that gift. So through that process, as I am sharing the gift that we all have, when I talk to the women that are in my life, whether they're new followers on social media, which Jodi and I are both learning a ton, and Jodi is so good. She's always giving me little tips and tricks of what to do on social media, because y'all, I'm 55 years old. That's just not who I am. But I'm really taking the time to get to know the women that I'm going after. It was Brooke last week? We were talking about avatars and niches, and that was so helpful to really define that. And that woman that I'm going after, I know her because I am, for one thing. And so really connecting and helping her see what she can still have and what she still could be in her life. And so that really deep connection, bringing that value to her. And so anyway, just knowing my customers, and then I shared with them the value of not just signing up as a customer. I really don't sign up customers. I sign up preferred customers. I just let them know the value is there. This is what we're going to do. This is how I'm going to set you up. And so that's kind of one of my first tips, is that I just don't sign up customers. I mean, okay, yes, if they only want a customer, I will, but I talk preferred customer. And then I'm trying to take that preferred customer conversation into coaching. I have a couple that are still on the fence, but I really do go after them as preferred customers. And so all of a sudden, I began to see that these preferred customers are really doing something, or they're engaged. And all of a sudden, this little thing that I'm sharing that's a gift is now a business. And my Shakeology and my other supplements are being paid for, and I'm making a little income, and we're going to build a business. So, my husband became a coach, and so he's, we're building that one. And then I went to my other preferred customers, and two of my preferred customers happened to be my daughter-in-laws. And I said to the girls, I said, we're going to build a business. Want to build? And my daughter-in-law loves Brittany. She's like, okay, we want to do this. And even her husband, Tyler, which is my son, he's like, okay, Mom, let's do this. And so, he's on board. And so it's exciting now that I get to work with my daughter-in-law every day. We were already super close. And so now it's really exciting just to see her building her business as well. And just to see how this is all coming together. So my tips to back up, as you're sharing, something that Jodi said, not overthinking it, definitely don't overthink it. I'm sharing, I'm doing the vital behaviors. As I'm sharing, I'm not sharing that women sign up as my customers. I want a relationship with them. I want to invest in them, and I'm going to be investing in my preferred customers. And so we're going to sign up preferred customers. Share. Our team has been talking about the number of no's that we get, and we have that sheet of no's. It's like, give me 100 no's. And then out of those 100 no's, how many of those are going to turn into yeses? And then just building with the ones that want to build, just saying, seeing what this can become, and really just going for it, and just putting it out there that you've got an opportunity, you've got a business to build, who's going to come with me? And let's do this together. So I don't know. Anybody else? Rebecca?
Oh
Can
my
I say
God,
one
that
more
was so
thing?
good. I didn't want to cut you off in case you weren't done.
Oh,
Oh my gosh, both you and Jodi, I just love their entire families have like benefited from this so much. And I just love both of your guys' confidence that you share so boldly on social media every single day. You guys are in your stories and posting your transformation pictures. And I just love that you challenge, Brittany too, and your daughter-in-law. So you're like, we're going to build a business. And you and Jodi both from the beginning have been like, you just keep your vision, I think, in the forefront. And you're like, Jodi's like, I don't want Hector to have to, work a job he hates. And you're like, I want to be able to provide for us and build this business. And I love that at your guys' age, you guys aren't choosing to just settle. And I feel like people my age have already settled and they're like, this is just what my life's going to be like. And you're like, I'm 55 and I'm going to go build a business, and you're doing it. And it's just proof that you have, you can do it if you put your mind to it. So, I don't
Can
know.
I say two things before we go to the other question? Okay, so one is related to the age thing. I want to encourage each one of you and anyone who's not here but is going to watch this later to never think that you're too busy, that your health and nutrition and fitness is not important enough to be a priority at your age, because so many women our age and even younger are, having so many health problems that it's so much harder for them to, even do as much as Renee and I have done. So just make the time for yourself. You're going to be a better wife, a better mom, a better friend, a better all the way around. And you probably already know that. But if you ever for 1 second think, oh, I'm just going to skip it today, or I'm not going to drink the Shakeology, I'm not going to eat well today, or whatever the thing is that you're struggling with, just do it, because you are really, it's so important. And I wish that, there were times when I exercised and all that before. The other thing I wanted to say, wanted to give my kids a lot of credit for helping me with the social media thing, because yeah, they were like my personal YouTube channel that I could go to and ask a lot of things. But on that note, if you ever are like not sure, you don't understand the leg thing, the short leg, the long leg, the strong and the weak leg, or whatever the thing is that you're not understanding, go to YouTube, because I found Jamie Fitzpatrick's video about legs that was like 5 or 6 years old, and it just clicked with me, because it took probably 9 months to really understand what the heck that was all about. So YouTube is a great resource. Of course, the Champions pages too, but.
Awesome. We are so blessed to have you guys both on our team. I just have to say that, very, very, very lucky and grateful. And so Rebecca, should we just open it up for questions? I know I wrote down some questions.
Yeah, that sounds good.
I'm curious, how do you guys communicate with your teams? Like, coaches prefer customers. Is it like a text thread? Do you have a Facebook group? Do you do it in bod groups? Or I know people do it all different ways. So I'm just curious what is working for you guys.
I have a bod group. Actually, I think I have the gut protocol bod group that I'm doing with Alexis. And then I have my own bod group with all my older people. I even have somebody who's 65 and a couple people in their 60s in my group. So I'm not the oldest for sure.
Nice.
And then I do individual texting. I would love to have a text thread so much. And I do send out a monthly newsletter, and I do emails and stuff about our team huddles. And I would love to have a team thread, or at least even a coach thread. And I do have a Facebook page, like for the preferred, that I think I'm going to open up to the preferred customers and coaches. It's been made for like 2 years, but I've never invited anyone to it yet. So
when I first started building our team, I did have a text thread, and we were part of Rebecca's bod groups. Then we branched out into our own bod groups, and that text thread just became too many people because I kept adding as I would get a new preferred customer. I was adding to the text thread, and it just became too much. And so I missed that because it was really intimate, that first little group of women that we were sharing, daily wins, struggles, just things that they weren't posting in the larger bod group. So, but now we are just running through the bod group, and then I personally either message them or text them about every other week. I have personal contact with everybody, just checking in. And again, I know that, I was talking to my husband, and he was wondering, how long is that even really sustainable, that 25 women that I will be in that kind of contact with? And maybe that's a question for Brooke or Rebecca or Dana, that how long do you have really intimate contact with your preferred customers that have been with you from the beginning in that way?
I used to have a Kumon Math and Reading Center franchise, and I ended up with like 100 students, but I was treating my business like it was a small, intimate thing in the beginning, and it was really hard to pull back from that when it blew up and got big.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was like a lesson I've always had in the back of my mind, is to always treat your business like it's already huge, so that you aren't like reneging on all the special treatment they were getting at the beginning when it was tiny.
Yeah.
I feel like that small, intimate feeling lasts a while, especially as, I don't know. Yeah. Especially as like you really solidify your team and like the girls who want to do this and all of that. At least for me, it did. It lasts, and it still is. It's still, there is a lot on our team now, but like, I still feel like there is that intimate setting. But so.
Okay. Good.
I have a direct answer for that.
Do you have different systems now that it's such a big team that keeps it intimate than you did at the beginning when it was smaller?
Well, for me, like one-on-ones, I feel like help, and just doing just small gatherings. I mean, I think the last one I did was like in January. I try and do something like every few months, which you mentioned super weekends and those things, but being really intentional of like getting that face time with your coaches, I think is really important.
I agree, because then they get to know each other too. Because I think it's even stronger when you have those relationships that don't involve you.
And if you don't have, I would just say the last thing to that, like anyone like close to you, like I know Rebecca, you were just saying like, oh, I'm so excited. Like Lindsay's now is in Charlotte. We can go to do this stuff together. Like try, like work really hard to find someone in your area, because once you are like able to like just go meet with them at a coffee shop and maybe work for an hour, or go like start getting together with them on a Saturday morning and working out, like those things start to like snowball effect. It's fun for you, it's fun for them, that like the word just spreads, people see you hanging out, and it's like, oh, it's not just this weird thing they're doing on, behind their phone on social media. But I also know that not all of us have like coaches really close, distance wise to us. But I think when you make that an intentional effort, it really, really changes your business.
Neat.
What other questions for Jodi or Renee? Ooh, I still need to watch that National Wake Up Call.
Jodi,
The other
Renee.
thing I would say, oh, I'm sorry, was somebody asking a question?
No, Jodi, you go
I was
first.
just gonna say, if you don't really feel like you know how to do something, that's okay. Just try it, just go for it and fail forward because that's kind of the best way to learn.
I was gonna say, Jodi, Renee, what are your big goals for the end by the end of the year?
I want to be 1-star diamond. I want my husband, at least. I'd love for one of my coaches to really start working the biz. And
Yes, it's gonna happen.
that is still not a, I don't know. I haven't cracked that one open yet. I have one who created an emerald, like when she signed up, on the same phone call, where she became a coach, went from preferred customer to coach, she became an emerald because she already had them lined up. But she hasn't worked anymore since then.
Nice. So, okay, so I'm really sorry. I'm so new that I don't quite get where I'm going yet, but no, I want 4 more Emerald coaches. That's kind of just my goal, and I don't even know what that's going to do for me, but that's where I am.
Love it. That's great.
You know what that's going to do for you? It's going to just make your diamond so much stronger. And it's going to, like, if you get 4 more new Emerald coaches, well, you have a way better chance that at least one of them is going to start working the business. So
Right.
that's a great next step.
So I was at the super weekend in DC where Julie Voris was there, and we had this diamond dinner the night before, and she was sort of just there and with some other high level coaches whose names I don't even remember, but I asked her the question, like, how do I attract working coaches at my age? And she just called me out and was like, how could you possibly make an excuse like that? There's, all these people, and like, there's just no excuse. You just have to go for it. So I felt kind of humbled, but I didn't really know who she was at the time.
Now you do.
Yeah, now I sure do.
That's awesome.
I sort of figured out she was a big deal when everyone was lining up to meet her at the end of the thing. I'm just clueless sometimes.
Well, at the same time, I always think it's cool at those events. Like, they're just another regular person who's worked hard, and it's not like she's the guru of social media or anything. So I always feel like those are good, humbling experiences when you get to meet.
Well, it was her idea to have this diamond dinner, and she was very down to earth. So if you ever get a chance to see her, definitely go up to her, and she's just so normal and totally approachable.
Awesome. All right. I know we're getting to about 40 minutes. So any other questions? This has been packed full with good stuff. So awesome.
I have like one question that my husband had, and it might sound really silly. Okay. So some of you I noticed signed up your spouses, right? Did you have to pay for both, I guess both Beachbody memberships? Like, how did you figure that out financially when you were first getting started?
So they just have to spend 50, they have to become a coach and pay their coach fee every month. And then they have to spend at least $50 in PV per month to maintain that status. So you don't have to get their own bod membership or a total solution pack or anything. Although my husband keeps reminding me that he can't earn badges because he just use my account. And I get like 3 workouts a day, which I don't do. I do one, maybe I'll do a 15-minute and a 30-minute body thing, but that's it.
I don't post my badges because my husband does like 2 or 3 of the 30-day breakaway things or whatever. And I'm like, it don't count.
You can delete them on the tracking portion of the BOD app.
Oh, I didn't know
I figured
that.
that out. So now I get the proper credit.
I'm gonna do that. Thank you, ladies.
And Krista, just to add to that, like what I did with my husband is I signed him up. I did do a total solution pack because I wanted those 2 success skill points. And I did the 3-day refresh Shakeology challenge pack. And I just got like the sampler, not sampler, but like a box of packets of Shakeology so I could give them out to different people who, because I have a lot of people who are always like, hey, can I have a sample of this? Can I try this? And I just have the big bag. So that's just an idea. And then I always just say like, yeah, like Jodi said, that $50. So whatever, like Shakeology is always on your account. And then for my husband's account, I just threw on whatever else we used, which was Energize, Recover. But financially to figure it out, I know that was like just way more, fire under my booty to start earning and making this because yeah, it does.
Yeah.
When you're spending 100 on Shakeology, 50, 60 a month on his account, like that adds up. So if you help 3 people with a challenge pack or more, then those things will offset those costs, which are huge.
Brooke, can you
Yeah,
get,
definitely.
you can get the 2 points after the first year though, right? If they've
No.
been a coach. Okay.
No.
Yeah, I did get him the total solution or the challenge pack when he first signed up, but ever since then he's been on my bod. Oh, and the other thing I wanted to say is to Krista, right?
Yeah,
Was
you got it.
that you could like keep the Shakeology subscription on your account and then everything else goes on his so that you get a cycle bonus for anything else you were to buy, like Recover and Energize, whatever else you get.
Oh, so what is the cycle bonus? Because I read on it, but I kind of wanted like someone to describe it to me.
So that's where I learned that about the legs. You want me to explain it, Brooke, or do you want to
I
explain it?
watched a video on it and I was like, okay. But it was a lot to take in, like my first day of being a coach. So yeah. Someone
Krista,
maybe break it down.
The simple answer is that you have a strong leg that so the weak leg, every time you get $100 of PV per product volume or personal volume, you match that with 200 on your strong leg, which has, almost infinity amount of money. And then you put them together and you get $14 or $18, depending on what your rank is.
Oh, okay, I see.
Yeah, and it's also, I don't know about you all, but when I was building my diamond, I was building my weak leg first because I wanted to get those cycle bonuses because I knew there was always going to be something to match it up with on the strong leg. Does that sound like a good strategy to you, experts?
And Krista, the more you hear about the team cycle bonus and that process, the more it will click. I know I didn't really fully understand it until like my 3rd or 4th time hearing it, but so just know it's normal.
Thank you.
It's the second additional way to earn income. And you might not see it a lot in your business at first, but it's the biggest long-term way to make income, which is exciting.
It's also a great system because that's why like the upline benefits when the lower level coaches win and the lower level coaches there's all this symbiotic stuff going on. Nobody's trying to steal other people's coaches or whatever because of that 2-legged system. So it's a really great system, if you ask me. I think it's why Beachbody has such a collaborative culture.
All right. Any other burning questions before we call it a night? know it's getting late for your East Coast people. You guys are all East Coast. Yeah. You're all East Coast. All righty. Well, thank you so much, Jodi and Renee. You guys have inspired, I mean, not only all your friends and family, but all of us. And we cannot wait to just keep cheering you on and celebrate together in Scottsdale this fall. So yeah, I will get this posting recorded, or this recording posted tomorrow on the team page, and you guys can share it with anybody. And just thank you for all your time tonight.
Thank you for welcoming us to the team call and being so welcoming in general to us old timers.
Love it.
OG.
All right, make it a good one. See you guys.
Everybody.
All right.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
everybody.